Welcome back. In this section, we'll talk about idea generation. We'll start with barriers for idea generation. We'll try to understand what are the roadblocks to generate ideas in our mindset. Next thing we will see generic and versus specific. How there are generic ideas versus specific, and we'll explore more on that. And then third thing, we will see source of ideas and where do we get these ideas from and how to list them. Okay, so let's start for this session. Let's start with barriers for idea generation. So one thing is very clear that everything starts with an idea. Idea. You take up any business or any successful startup or any startup, the founder has a vision and then something that pops up on his head with an idea, and then he builds the startup, a business, everything from based on that idea. So we all know that everything starts with an idea, but the question is, for us to get right ideas, in some cases, people may have some barriers like the mindsets or roadblocks. So when you have this kind of barriers, you cannot freely think of ideas. So let's take a look at some of these barriers and how do we eliminate them. Okay, so one of the things very commonly we hear is, oh, whatever I can think of, it's already done. There is nothing new to do. Literally, some of my friends, when I ask them about like if they want to start their business or something, this is a common thing they say, but this is not true. There is always room for new innovation and new ideas. Like 5 years back, there were not much about mobile apps thing, but now everything is mobile apps. And same thing, like 6 years back, there was no social media. Now there is too much social media too. But again, this is not saturated yet. There are always open chance for new ideas and new innovations. So if let's take some examples, like to remove this barrier. Like for example, when Google started a search engine project, there were already the successful websites such as AltaVista and Excite.com as the search engines. But still, you know how Google changed entire world, being a number one search engine, and it does more than search engine, of course. So, and the next example is Facebook became a hit even when MySpace.com was there in a similar space, right? And then iPhone revolutionized the entire mobile industry. Before Apple came into this iPhone or mobile market, there were so many people like Sony, Samsung, Nokia are giving this mobile phones, but iPhone came up with this, touch and simple, its own OS, and it's all app world. So it revolutionized entire mobile industry. And another different kind of example here is Jappos.com. It's an online shoe retailer website. It became great success as an online, shoe retailer. Why? There were many other online websites which are selling shoes. For example, Amazon.com was one of the biggest. Even now, it is one of the biggest online retailer, right? But still, Zappos came as a startup and then became success, right? So the bottom line, of course, later Amazon bought Zappos.com. That is a different story. But bottom line here is, we shouldn't think that everything is done. There's nothing new to do. So innovation is happening continuously. So there was no best time. There is no worst time. You can come up with best ideas. And the next one of the common thing I hear from some people is, oh, even if I start with a great idea, big companies will kill my startup. then what is the point of me taking this stress and starting up? Eventually, I'll be killed by these big companies. If this is the case, why there are so many acquisitions? You know, right? Getting acquired by a big company is a great exit. That means it's a great success for a startup, right? So, for example, Facebook bought Instagram. Why? Facebook uh, could have started an app to take photos, but it knows that by acquiring it benefits rather than starting its own app. And the same way, Apple bought Siri. Siri started with an idea of recognizing voice and then acting as a personal assistant to provide required information or making reservations and so on. But Apple bought this for it. In the same way, Microsoft bought Skype. Skype has been number one online way of communication, voice communication for more than, I would say, 6, 7 years, right? Okay, so another example here is Dropbox. He is leading in personal online storage market. Like it's becoming very common for people to say, okay, I Dropbox did, you can go and check it, right? Something like that. So in this online storage, cloud-based storage area market, Microsoft is there, Google is there, Amazon is there, but still Dropbox is leading this market because of its easy interface and the features and the hype which we built successfully with the brand over there, right? So we don't have to stop with our ideas thinking that big companies will kill my startup. Okay, you can start with your ideas and pursue your dream of building a successful business. The next thing is, oh yeah, just before we move on. So big companies are busy with managing what they have. Yes. So they cannot think like out of the box sometimes, like how these guys are coming up with these ideas. So their best bet is to acquire a startup rather than trying to do everything in the world. They may have to manage what they have. So easy thing, best thing what they can do is acquire other successful startup companies. So the next one here is some people say, I want to start something unique and groundbreaking. I don't want to start with some small idea and then be one of the common guy there. I want to be something unique, come up with a great idea. Well, it's good to have that thought, but here is the fact. You can, it's a myth. You have to wait forever maybe to get that great idea. And you got to remember that idea is not everything. Idea is a starting point, but is not everything. So you don't have to wait for great ideas to come from nowhere or come from sky. Ideas can be incremental. It need not be groundbreaking. You can just start with an idea, what you have already built, what is there available, and just think how you can make them better, right? So it doesn't have to be unique and out of the world idea. All it has is it can be simple, incremental of current existing things around you, and just think how you can get them better, easier, or simpler. Okay. So see you in the next section.